During week 3 of my 10 weeks in Sofia, Bulgaria, I took a day trip to Niš, Serbia, and in this video, I will be providing a bit more detail regarding the places I was able to visit in Niš than what I did in my week 3 vlog. Of course, going from Bulgaria to Serbia required crossing a border, so everyone in our vehicle had to have their passport stamped when we exited Bulgaria, and we had to get a stamp showing that we had entered Serbia. After crossing the border, I wanted to get at least a little bit of the local currency, and believe it or not, all of those banknotes I had in my hand were not even worth $2. Then, not only did I have to pay to use the restroom, but it was a Turkish toilet. Even though that style of toilet is commonly used in many parts of the world, it will forever seem strange to me. But I suppose it was part of the Serbian day trip experience. Probably the coolest part about my day trip to Niš, Serbia was how we were able to move through very different chapters of history within Serbia, starting with the Roman Empire. As you probably already know, the Roman Empire was one of history's greatest civilizations, dominating the Mediterranean world and much of Europe, North Africa, and parts of Asia for centuries. At its height, the Roman Empire connected distant provinces with a vast network of roads, cities, and trade routes, ensuring efficient communication and movement. The Balkans were particularly important to the Roman Empire due to their strategic position on key military and trade routes linking Europe to the east. Present-day Niš, Serbia is located in the Balkan region, and it became a prominent city during the Roman era. Emperor Constantine the Great, who was a pivotal figure in Roman history and reigned over the Roman Empire from 306 AD to 337 AD, was born in Niš and heavily influenced the region's development. This facility right here, which is on the outskirts of Niš, is what's called Mediana. And during Constantine the Great's reign in the 4th century, he established imperial estates like this one here, Mediana, as symbols of power and centers of administration. The Mediana estate, or at least what's left of it, is a reflection of the wealth and sophistication of the Roman elite. Mediana served as one of Constantine the Great's imperial residences, and it embodies the transitional period of the late Roman Empire when Christianity was gaining prominence. It probably goes without saying, but the present-day roof that you can see is certainly not an original. This is simply there to protect the ruins from deteriorating any further. The ruins of Mediana offer a direct link to the Roman Empire's legacy, illustrating how Roman culture shaped the Balkans and beyond. Moving on to another chapter of Serbia's rich history, the Ottoman Empire. Next up on the itinerary was a visit to the Skull Tower, a chilling reminder of the region's turbulent past. The skull tower was built by Ottomans in 1809 as a grim monument to a battle in which Serbian Christian rebels sought independence and freedom from Ottoman rule. Following the battle, the Ottomans used the skulls of Serbian rebels to construct the tower as a warning to others resisting Ottoman rule. The tower originally had 952 skulls, but only about 58 remain today, and they are displayed behind glass. The removal of so many skulls from the tower has everything to do with the fact that over the years there has been debate over whether the skull tower should be preserved or removed, with some arguing that it serves as a painful reminder of violence and oppression, while others believe it's important to retain the historical monument because history should not be erased. After all, it serves as a symbol of the struggle for freedom and the resilience of the Serbian people. Today, the skull tower stands as an important historical landmark, educating visitors about Serbia's complex history with the Ottoman Empire and its eventual path to independence. Moving on to yet another chapter of Serbia's history, World War II. Next up on the itinerary was a visit to the unfortunately named Red Cross Nazi concentration camp. Despite the name, the camp has no affiliation with the actual Red Cross organization. The name comes from the camp's proximity to the nearby Red Cross train station. The Red Cross Nazi concentration camp was established in Niš, Serbia by the Nazis in 1941 during World War II. This camp primarily functioned as a transit camp where prisoners, including Serbs, Jews, Romani people, and prisoners of war, were held before being transported to extermination camps or forced labor camps. This camp was one of several Nazi-run facilities in the Balkans, and thousands of innocent people passed through this camp's gates during the war. Even though this particular camp's purpose was not extermination, prisoners were often subjected to horrible conditions, including overcrowding, lack of food, disease, and brutality at the hands of the guards. The Nazi regime's occupation of Serbia led to mass arrests, with many civilians and resistance fighters imprisoned or ultimately being executed. Serbian Jews were especially targeted, with many being sent to camps such as the Red Cross concentration camp before being deported to other death camps. Of course, it should be noted that during World War II, Serbia was not an independent country. Instead, it was part of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was invaded and partitioned by the Nazis and their allies in 1941, with different regions controlled by Germany, Italy, and Hungary, while some areas were governed by puppet states. After the Yugoslav partisans' liberation efforts in 1944, and with the retreat of German forces in early 1945, Serbia was freed from Nazi occupation. Today, the Red Cross Nazi concentration camp is a memorial site and museum dedicated to the victims who suffered as a result of World War II. For the final 2 chapters of Serbian history for the day, we jumped ahead to the present and enjoyed some lunch in the city center. After lunch, my friend Vlad and I spent the remainder of our time in the center of Niš, getting some ice cream and checking out some local shops. I thought it was pretty hilarious how the local shopping center did not have a Victoria's Secret, but they had a women's secret. Despite the busy day, there were many chapters of Serbian history that we were not able to cover. But as we were leaving the city center and getting ready to head back to Bulgaria, Vlad and I were pleasantly surprised to stumble upon some items from Serbia's Yugoslav era. I am far from being a communist, but I am a sucker for historical items, so I could not resist getting this red star hammer and sickle pin. I really hope I can make it back to Serbia at some point, but it's time to cross the border and head back to Bulgaria.